Hi, Jonathan York from Bay Financial Partners. That's a new name for IRG BOP. Looking at the investment markets this week, quite an interesting set of results last week from Telecom and also Fletcher's. They were broadly in line, but the guidance was possibly a little bit weaker, and that saw the share price come under a little bit of pressure. But as you actually look at sort of between the lines and start to take into account the dividend, etc., the sell-off was possibly a little bit overdone, because you're still looking, certainly in Telecom's case, if they pay the same dividend, you're still looking current price of around sort of an 8% dividend yield, which is very attractive compared with the sort of bank term deposit at sort of 4 to 4.2%. So we are still seeing quite a bit of interest out there in these high dividend, high quality shares. Because New Zealanders are traditionally looking for income. The sort of retail bond market is a little bit thin on the ground. The Trustpower was heavily oversubscribed, and that all went very quickly. And at the present, there are very few other potential bond issues on the in the marketplace. A little bit of further news out there as well on the state asset sales. The Waitangi Tribunal has now issued its findings, and they appear to imply that there are some customary rights out there for the water. The government now has to take this into consideration, and it's all pointing to a little bit of a delay in the first state asset sale, which is Maina River Power. I mean, it is possible to be still on track, but given the findings, I think it's probably unlikely, and there is possibly a little bit of delay coming through. Elsewhere, the big story has been the Apple-Samsung court case. The ruling went in favour of Apple, and Samsung have been ordered to pay just over $1 billion. That's a huge amount of money, but to a big multinational, even like Samsung, it's not too dramatic. There is potentially an appeal in the pipeline, and it'll just be interesting to see how that sort of pans out. Certainly at the moment, high-tech shares, with the likes of Apple, Google, and Samsung really have been leading the drive out there in the US, and it'll just be interesting to see if that continues over the next sort of couple of months. Traditionally, equity markets do get a little bit nervous heading into September and October, and it'll be very interesting to see if that remains the case this year. Certainly at the moment, equity markets are holding a reasonable bid out there. Europe appears to be trying to sort itself out, and there's not really too much further negative news coming out of Europe. But really, New Zealand markets will take their lead from offshore share markets this week. So if you are looking for income, I'd say those high dividend shares are still attracting quite a bit of interest out there, and you can look us up on www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz, or call us on 578 3863, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.